Hi, I'm George Romero, and you're watching Darkest Corners.
And I'm watching Darkest Corners.
You're watching Darkest Corners.
You're watching Darkest Corners.
And you're watching Darkest Corners.
And you are watching Darkest Corners.
And you're watching Melody Free. And not only that, but you're watching Darkest Corners.
Hello, this is PJ Souls, and you are totally watching Darkest Corners.
And you're watching Darkest Corners.
And you're watching Darkest Corners. So
Don't turn it off.
this is Sid Haig. You're watching Darkest Corners, or you better be. I'll come over there and kick your ass.
You are watching Darkest Corners.
Hi, this is Doc Rodney, Pinhead from the Hellraiser movies, and you're watching Darkest Corners, and I would advise you to keep watching Darkest Corners, or I
tear your soul apart.
It was a hot, balmy summer evening. The air was as hot as the flames of hell itself. His veins were seizing from his one true vice. So he slowly crept up to the creepy abandoned gas station, and there, in the darkest corners...
Shit. Okay, technically, it was a regular gas station. And my only vice was I was there to get a Mountain Dew and some Funyuns. So let's rewind a little bit. We need to go all the way back and see how this all started in the very beginning. It's showtime!
We got man-eating zombies and axe-wielding fangs. We got things so horrific it will forever haunt your dreams. We got maniacs who've lost their minds. We got crazy psychos, the chainsaw-carrying variety kind. In these darkest corners, it's not what it seems. You won't ever forget us. We'll always be in your dreams.
On a cold December, I was born at Carswell Air Force Base. I was born with a kidney disease. Same kind the actor Gary Coleman had. So if I was lucky enough to make it to age 12, I wouldn't be over 4 feet tall. At age 7, I got high blood pressure. Starting to see a pattern here? Long story short, by the time I was a senior, I was over 6 foot tall and still living. But unable to play sports due to my health, I did drama instead. After school, I was then told to prepare to go before I was 25. At age 21, I ended up on dialysis, and then told I had 5 to 10 years on there. And then that would be all. That was 30 years ago. I knew if I was going to live any dream I wanted, the time was now. So, this is where we came in. Back to the Chevron gas station in 2007. So, as I'm going in to get my Mountain Dew and Funyuns, that's going to get old. Anyway, as I was going in to get my Funyuns, I got them and I was going to the checkout, and over there, in the darkest corners of that gas station, there was one of those little spindy, circular little DVD racks that you can spin. And on that were the worst of the worst. There was bum fights, there was executions, Traces of Death type films, you know, the cheapo, homemade kind of DVD underground stuff. And that got me thinking. The history of horror. Yeah, I was going to finally do it. I got off my crippled rear end and decided if I was ever going to do it, it had to be now. So at that moment, I decided I was going to make a documentary on the history of horror. So, I need to get a celebrity on board for this, but I'm nobody. Who could I possibly get? So I thought about horror, and who came to mind that was someone I probably could get involved with? But the Godfather himself, Herschel Gordon Lewis.
Hello?
Hi, is Herschel there?
Who is this?
Jason?
Why?
He told me to call him.
Hang on!
Hey, Jay, I think I'm in trouble. I'll call you back tomorrow.
All right, brother. Talk to you tomorrow. Well, he did call back and gave me the first interview that would eventually lead me on my way to what would be my life. Years later, I wrote him to thank him for all he had done. He was so gracious. He said he was working on a project, and when he got back, would I be interested in a collaboration with him? Just wow. My hero wants to work with me. The project he was working on was Blood Mania. That would be the last thing he would ever make. Herschel passed away on September 26, 2016. Goodbye, Herschel.
No one lives forever. A time we all must go. The curtain will close, and that's the end of the show. You can't escape the reaper. We all will get our turn. Whether put deep into the earth or forever in an urn, each of us at a time will eventually hear the call. There's no escaping the cold hard fact. Death comes to us one and all.
You know, I was with Darkest Corners through the early stages, man, when it was just kicking off. It was started by Jason, and I thought, you know, I just kind of threw the idea at him that maybe we could talk about horror movies and review horror movies, to actually doing like a little horror comedy variety thing. I guess we got that from, he got the idea kind of from concepts of the early Carol Burnett show. And once we started filming this, it was just me and him. We knew that we needed an editor to edit the film. So the only one person I knew that knew anything about computers was our third member of the group.
You know, when I think back on Darkest Corners, it doesn't feel like just a show. It feels like a lifetime. Somehow lived in fast forward, from the haunted houses that smelled like dust and adrenaline to the nights we spent drowning in ultra-toxic TV, losing sleep just to chase something real. And then there were the nights, the WGOR nights, the endless hours of editing, until my brain felt like static, but somehow I loved it. Every cut, every glitch, every moment where I wondered, is this even good? Because I wasn't doing it alone. I had family. From working with Lloyd Kaufman, the crew, the chaos, all of it shaped me. DC isn't just family. It's a place where I learned that even someone like me could do something that mattered. could make something worth remembering. If these walls could talk, they'd probably laugh at how many times I just couldn't understand the chaotic, absolute madness that was happening. Because these shadows, these stories, these people, they held me up when I thought I would fade out. So here's to the corners we survived and the ones we still brave enough to walk into. It's been 20 years and there hasn't been a lot of things happening. My neighbors stare at me for wearing this mask. I've forgotten what I have looked like. So I'm happy that I got this opportunity to once again grace the screen of DC.
He was never one for the limelight, for the attention. He left that part to the rest of us. But when it comes to Darkest Corners, everything we were, everything we could be, was all because of him. Behind the scenes, he built it all. It was my dream. But he was the creator. He knew how to do everything, and if he didn't know how to do it, he would find a way. These two guys, they're my brothers, and there's no way I can express what they've done for me. We built something together that only other people could merely dream of. And I'll love them for the rest of my life.
To all who came along, too many to mention.
I was working at a grocery store, and one of my customers happened to be Bobby Warner. And she was known as Bloody Mary. She was a horror film makeup artist, and it was just kind of luck, or maybe it was just the luck of the Darkest Corners crew. I asked her if we could do an interview with her. I went back and told the guys, and they were excited about it, so we went out to her studio in Fort Worth. It was our first time really to actually be around anybody in the horror industry. I know there was Texas Frightmare weekends, but this was our own little slice of like somebody. I mean, she did work on the Titanic. Then when you walked into her studio, there was like pictures of stars everywhere. So we interviewed her, and through her, we met some people that helped us get a haunted house. But those are stories for another day. And all these times, all these great things that we did, like going and watching the Thriller dance being synchronized all over the United States of America, and we went to Hangman's House of Horror and got to go hang out with Bobby Bloody Mary as she made up the zombies at Hangman's House of Horror, and got to meet one of Jigsaw's idols, Ari Milanoff from Texas Chainsaw Massacre 3, and Jigsaw gave him a pain, and he told us, he said, well, why don't you guys come back and hang out with me tonight? But we got to hang out with Bloody Mary, and that night we got to go around and grab creatures from the haunt at the Hangman's House of Horrors for the Halloween season. And we were grabbing creatures out of the haunted house and trying to get them to mess with us on camera. And that was kind of fun. I'd go and try to get a few of them, and then freaking Jigsaw went and got a few of them. I think Igor got a few of them. So I mean, it was kind of fun. And you know, and if there was one word that I could sum up Darkest Corners, I can sum up everything Darkest Corners in a lifetime, is it's been fun.
And then he'd come
come to his senses. You know what? I'm tired of talking about myself. Let's change the subject and have you talk about me.
Alrighty, we're just going to ask you a few quick questions.
Go ahead. Ask them loudly and clearly.
I will.
All right.
Alrighty. We have a website, and our fans ask, and this is the two top questions they had for you.
Okay.
Donning the mask, was it a blessing or a curse?
Donning the mask?
Donning the mask.
I call that the gift that keeps on giving. We wouldn't be having this interview if I hadn't put that mask on.
Possibly.
So, absolutely, it was a blessing.
And the girls would like to know, do you keep in touch with Vigo?
The short answer is no.
Yeah. Do you prefer the big budgets or the smaller budgets? Do you have more freedom on a smaller budget? Or?
The unvarnished truth is a bigger budget, bigger payday. So, you know, if you're looking at it as an economic choice, then bigger budget, of course. But hey, work is work. I like it all. I like to be in front of the camera, so that's why I'm standing here.
Is it true you had a cameo role on Full House?
That is absolutely correct. I used to ride motorcycles with John Stamos a little bit, so they had a little part where he brought in some of his biker buddies. Duh.
There you go.
So, yes, I had a little part on that.
Well, this goes back to what you were saying a while ago. Do you want to be in more films, or as long as you're working, you're happy?
Well, I want to be in many more films, and I want to broaden my footprint. I want to be a producer so that I can, you know, have a little bit more control of my career. My problem is I'm not a businessman, and you know, I'm an artiste.
Yes.
You know, so the business, you know, they call it show business. I got the show down, but I'm a washout with the business.
What's your favorite movie out of anything?
Well, my knee-jerk reaction would have to be Leatherface, Texas Chainsaw Massacre 3, of course.
Absolutely.
Oh, wow, man. I think that's almost an impossible question to answer, because if it's on celluloid, it's very hard for me to be disappointed. I can tell you a couple of them I absolutely hated. Chopper Chicks from Zombie Town. I hated that. I hated that. I got a copy of that movie for free. I watched it. I hated it so much. It was still when it was VHS. I pulled the VHS tape out, threw it on my floor, and stomped it.
There you go. Can you give us any insight to Halloween? Anything you could say?
I wish I could. It's been listed on IMDb. It's kind of like a who's who of you know, people that are in the horror business. But I haven't got a start date on it yet. So, you know, until I'm walking on a set, or until I've signed the deal memo, it doesn't, you know, it's just all speculation.
Right.
You know?
Okay, and the Darkest Corners question, we ask this to everybody. If you could have anything written on your epitaph, what would that be?
Not enough time.
Not enough time. Wow. Excellent. I like that one. Thank you very much.
taken a journey to self-realization. Do you know what it's like to be black inside? To feed on the misery of others? Centuries pass of those who've come before. Only I know what it feels like to be black inside. Only I know true misery. Only I... Listen, it's not too late for you. It's you. I know it from the beginning.
On your brains like caviar. Thought I was dead, but here we are. I rip and tear until you're deceased. Then it's time for me to freeze. I cannot die, I cease to live. The ultimate threat to all mankind. Start with your heart, I'll take your soul. I will not stop till there's no more. With my death there, every death's creaking, bodies everywhere. Smell of death is rising in the air. Harvester of flesh. See me creeping with my death there. Every death's creaking, bodies everywhere. Smell of death is rising in the air. Harvester of flesh. Hand and walk with me. I'll drag you through hell and misery. Blood on the hands, flesh in the nails, violence rules.
There is nothing wrong with your television set. Do not attempt to adjust the picture. We are controlling transmission.
Hi everybody, I'm Derek Mears. I'm the Jason from the new Friday the 13th. You're listening to Grave Robber Radio.
Hey, I'm Ogre, and I'm here digging up the dirt on Grave Robber Radio.
Hey, you're listening to William Catt from Greatest American Hero, and you're listening to Grave Robber Radio.
So DC started off as a DVD variety show based around horror. We had interviews with celebrities, some fictitious characters, musical guests, famous grave sites. We even had a cooking segment. So to push the series, we created WGOR Grave Robber Radio. It lasted from 2008 to 2011 and grew to have a fairly large following, with each show going live around midnight each night.
Skull-shattering goodness.
Plenty more talk so soon. You know, before the hour's up,
I'm gonna say
you're
something.
just gonna make great radio. Though.
I'm gonna stick my foot in my mouth. George Bush, a dead horse, deranged lunatic, on power.
I think I'm drunk. This whole show just like took a bleeding
nosedive.
One day we had folks on who ran the haunted house for Six Flags. One of them brought their friend who we had all met at Mayfest, thanks to Bobby Wiener. Well, their friend asked us if we wanted to go walk through his haunt, because it was really haunted, and so of course we did. Long story short, there was an abandoned haunt there too, and we were asked if we thought we could get it up and running in 3 months, and if so, would we want to? And just like that, we were on to another venture. Darkest Corners was now in the haunted amusement attraction game. Our haunt years were bittersweet. It was fun at the time, but the owner was questionable at best, and that's getting $5 a head, well, that was a bitter pill to take at the time. But we made enough to buy better equipment and pay James and me back for the thousands of dollars we put into it. See, it was run by someone who left it, and left it a shell. And there was only 3 months to get it up and running. So again, we were against the impossible, but we looked forward and got it done. Somehow we pulled through, just like we always did. We also got in with Patrick Matthews, who went on to be on many of our radio shows, and his eclectic personality somehow fit in with us. The best thing that came from the haunt was that we now had many sets to shoot in. Creepy living room, kitchen, church, even a cave if we wanted. And that brought forth the modeling of GOG and the Girls of Darkest Corners.
The evening comes calling, the sun fades away. She came in walking, touched me looking that way. Her eyes were the color of heaven, lips like cherry red. Her smile filled up my soul, and I swear my heart said I must have
The bitter part is, this is where Troy decided to go on to do his own thing, and that's fair. I know as well as anybody, when your dream is knocking, you gotta answer then, because it may not come back around.
Hi y'all,
It's Michelle Macabre, Shannon Stockin. I just wanted to do a little video about my experience with Darkest Corners, Girls of Darkest Corners. I think it was about 2015 when I started working with Jason in Toxic TV, Darkest Corners. And I just want to say that my experience was amazing. I was doing some modeling, like self-modeling photos online, and Jason got in touch with me and asked me if I would mind coming down to Texas and doing a little bit of filming with him and the crew. And of course, I'd never been to Texas, so I thought, absolutely. So headed down to Texas and did some filming, some zombie filming and some acting. The first time I went twice. The first time I went, I did some photo shoots and things that Jason had lined up for me, and Randy, she was also there, and we did some photo shoots and stuff, so that was amazing. And then the second time we were working on one of the zombie films, and that was pretty fun. Like, we got to make like intestines in Jason's kitchen and stuff and everything, so we got to do the special effects for that, and also act in it too. So all in all, like, working with Jason and Darkest Corners and doing everything and meeting all kinds of amazing people. The band Allison Red, also did a video for them while I was down there. Everything was so amazing. And the hospitality from Jason and all the crew, Blake Cleveland, like everybody was just amazing. So yeah, that was my experience with them, and just all around good time. Everybody was so polite and just amazing to work with, and they give you like the freedom to do kind of anything you want to do to make it more gory or gross in their films. So that was always amazing. So yeah, that was my experience working with them, and I cherish it to this day. A bunch of great amazing people to work with. So yeah, that's my experience.
Those who've come before. Only I know what it feels like to be back inside. Only I know true misery. Only I listen. It's not too late for you. You can turn from all this. You can.
Mark! I thought you were gone!
Changed my mind. You know, these guys just want to live and be happy too. They know how to show a man a good time. How about you? You look tasty.
You. I knew it from the beginning. You knew it. Mortius, you knew it. You must fulfill the destiny of the ages. I will lead where you have fallen, my friend. You are a worthy adversary. You're an even greater ally.
Did you kill Maggie?
Take a distance. Good vision. No, I didn't kill Maggie. We didn't kill anyone. We are the heroes, right?
What's going on here? Chamberlain!
What? We saved you from the zombies. Don't you think you owe us?
So they're zombies too?
Don't be so naive.
Who? What are you?
Hello, I'm Raven, also known as Pandora. I'm one of the original Darkest Corners children. Growing up in DC, it was probably one of the coolest experiences of my life that I still brag about, and I always bragged about. Always was a weird kid growing up, but I was proud of it. I'm still very, very, very proud of it. You know, who else can sit here and say, like, they grew up sleeping in coffins, or they would, every time we'd run a haunted house, all of the props would come home with us after Halloween was over, and they'd just be part of our house decor. You know, movie time came, and oh, you need a devil, here's the devil. You need anything, literally, and it's just laying around our house. Coffins for decoration.
I can't keep covering for you. You gotta stop killing folks. I don't like it when I have to come behind you and clean up the mess that people find.
Sorry, Baba. I've had the privilege to meet all these really cool people. I've had the privilege to sit here and call all these people my family. Like, I mean, I grew up talking about my Uncle Jigsaw, my dad was Igor, we got Uncle Freak, like, so many awesome nicknames for everybody that no kid, like, you know, normal kids have like Opie or Papa or, you know, Uncle Dude. Okay, we had Uncle Dude, but anyways, but that's the normal side that of us, not our creepy side of the family. You know, it's still pretty awesome, and it's really awesome seeing this still stuff happening. It's also really awesome watching everything behind the scenes. You know, growing up, I'd always, every single Saturday like clockwork, it was Jigsaw and my dad just constantly chasing their dreams, you know, and they'd be at the computer, they'd be outside with the camera, they'd be inside with the camera, they'd be making some guts, they'd be making some intestines. Like, if there was a will, there was a way, and they always found their way, and it was really just awesome. There is this one video that they did, that they had entered this contest, and it was like, you can't use any makeup, and you have to make the best horror film. So they came up with the Save the Zombies, and we used nothing but food for all this. So like, my baby sister was a baby at the time too, so like, of course, well, I guess she was growing out of her baby food, but we used the leftover baby food for like the guts and stuff, and then oatmeal for brains, and just the creativity and the ambition and the drive and just all of it. That's really what makes Darkest Corners just come to life. That makes Darkest Corners everything. How everybody's just one giant family, and everybody's just their own type of weird, you know. And we're all accepted. We all accept each other. It's definitely something very beautiful.
This chemical, it got into the air somehow, and apparently it was regenerating the dead.
Wow. Who would have figured that something our government was trying to do for our own good would turn around and screw everything up?
I know, right? I mean, Mark went out to get Bubba, and then they got him, and then they got Bubba too.
They sound like very good people.
They were. They really were. But the worst part is, Maggie she was with us the whole time.
Who's Maggie?
Maggie, you know, the little girl that was with us. She was right over there.
Hi, I'm Red Rum, or Baby Ariana, and my favorite part about being on Darkest Corners is all the fun projects and hunt that we got to do. I remember growing up, I got all these stories from all the hunts that I couldn't remember because I was too little. One being whenever I was really little, my uncle would have me in a cage and be a kid eater, and it was really fun, and I tell all my friends about it. When anyone asks about my childhood, I like to say that I was just a zombie baby or something that people don't really believe, and I find that really interesting because not everyone can have the childhood that I have. Whenever I think about my childhood, I always think about watching the Save the Zombies video for the very first time, about how I was the main attraction and how I wanted the people to donate. So that's my experience on Darkest Corners.
Hi, my name is Loki, and I have been with the Darkest Corners family my whole life. My name is Loki, and I've been friends with Jigsaw my whole life, and it's been really cool. It's really cool to hear all the stories. And it's really cool because I get to experience the whole thing because I've been dreaming to do it again. So whenever Darkest Corners ever comes up again, I would always love to participate in it.
When we started Darkest Corners, we didn't know how to make movies. We figured it out. We didn't hire editors. We figured it out. Same with photos and haunted houses. We kept it all in-house and learned to do it ourselves. But now we had films and needed a way to show them. So James did research and again figured out how to do it ourselves. We created Ultra Toxic TV and Static Wasteland. Static Wasteland was a channel for all the old school horror hosts. We had about 20 playing their classic in their own ghoulish ways. UTTV, or Ultra Toxic Television, was all the great exploitation films from the 60s, 70s, and a few 80s. Even that weird, creepy, silent pig film. We even made our first fully animated series, Happy Lane. I always hear of an overnight success that took years. This was ours. Within a couple of months, we had over 1 million subscribers worldwide. And just like that, people knew us. And we were starting to get the recognition we worked so hard for. Companies were using us for their ads. Little no-name companies that went on to become fairly huge today. A water company that marketed on the darker side. And an online game that got pretty big. We were at the top of the world. But just like a rainy day, this too would pass.
So you sure about that? Because from what I heard, those people in Ada are barely able to make it on what they got. And I don't see how you're going to pull a profit from those people if they don't hardly have anything to barter with.
Well, I don't plan on selling. I plan on buying. And for pennies on the dollar. You're absolutely right about one thing, though. They have very limited economy, by way of comparison.
During the birth of the industrial age, the battle lines were clearly drawn. He loved his family. He loved his money. Something had to give.
I'm afraid you're barking up the wrong tree.
They left him with only one choice.
So what are you gonna do?
Become a legend.
Next spring, a legend will rise. And the West will never be the same.
It's far too late for that.
Dark Rider and Pain.
I am Texas!
One of the things I'll always remember was when we got together and we decided, because Jackass was so famous back then, we decided to get together and do our own version of kind of a Jackass stunt. Were we going to hurt each other? I mean, you swallow your pride a little bit, and just for the sake of humor. But to me, we come up with a concept of I was going to eat donuts off a jelly dong, aka a dildo, and the only danger I was of getting hurt was slowly getting diabetes. I was just excited. I was wondering, what kind of donuts is it going to be? Am I going to get Krispy Kreme? Let it be Krispy Kreme. Let it be like some really cool donuts. But Jigsaw brings out a 24 glazed, great value Walmart brand bakery donuts. The ghettoest of donuts. But I was like, okay, I'm a professional, I'm a pro. And the one thing too I should say about this was when Gonzo and Robbie went to go buy the said jelly dong at a adult bookstore or adult store, the person behind the counter kind of told them, you don't want to be going up there, two guys buying a jelly dong, and then the clerk looking at it. So you're trying to tell them something. They said, so Robbie, I think, said, we're going to get one of our friends to eat donuts off of this. And I'm sure the guy was like, okay, sure you are. And I can only just imagine, I'm working in an adult store and I've seen it all. But I know there's probably had to be some talk that night in the break room, and that guy went on break with the rest of the employees. Hey, you know, these guys came in today, and they bought this big old jelly dong, and they said they were going to get their friend to eat, doing the air quotes right now, to eat donuts. And I'm sure they were probably going, oh, yeah, sure. Now, I had the greatest trainer in my corner. Jigsaw was the greatest trainer. He was my cut man. He was my trainer. He was going to throw in the towel if the cock ring was just too much for me. He was going to throw in the towel. He'd already let me know. He was my Mickey to my Rocky. And he was already letting me know, you know, Rock, you're not going to get out there and get in too much trouble. I got you. And, you know, what better? And then he was great with the pep talks in between rounds, because we did 2 rounds, and he was my prep guy, my pep up guy, man, telling me, you know, just hang in there. He's giving me water, massaging my shoulders, and just kind of just being the manager. And man, and just the things that, you know, I think I ate like 17 donuts, all to the wonderful soundtrack of Mortal Kombat Fight. And just that music going dun 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 dun, Mortal Kombat, and it's just hilarious. And these are the things that we think of. This was the kind of comedy that we did, and the horror comedy that we did. If you didn't get it, that's okay. Then it wasn't for you. But if you got it and you understood it, then you were our family. You were our audience that we were making this for. And I mean, like I said, if you didn't get it, you didn't get it. But like I said before, the one thing that will always describe Darkest Corners as being fun. I mean, we were totally off the hook, and you never knew what we were going to do. And, you know, that was another thing, man. One of the fun things about doing Darkest Corners was the getting together the day before we shoot, and every weekend we'd get together, me and Jigsaw, and we would write what we was going to do at his house. Not so much what we were going to say, because everything was totally improvised. There were no scripts in this whatsoever. You were getting 100% raw, unfiltered emotions. And that's what made it so great, man. It was a great time to be alive. And it was so great to be a part of this, man. I'll forever be thankful that I got to be a part of this.
Darkest Corners has always tried to push the edge of exploitation, whether it be exploiting gore, monsters, or even humor, as long as it was entertaining. We follow in the paths of the great exploitators like Ed Wood, Russ Meyer, the incomparable Roger Corman, the King William Castle, and the Godfather himself, Herschel Gordon Lewis. So when it came to our next film, what better fit for us than to do an envelope-pushing, extremely over-the-top sequel to one of the most infamous exploitation sci-fi films of all time, Plan 9 from Outer Space. Plan 10, Return to Earth, was a sequel almost 50 years later. The original film was about people under attack by flying saucers from outer space. The aliens intend on conquering the planet by resurrecting corpses in a Hollywood cemetery. A cape-wearing ghoul played by Bela Lugosi, a vampire by the great Vampira, and a dead cop played by Tor Johnson. Plan 10 was about the aliens returning in 2015, but before they arrived, a mad scientist who lived through the original invasion would create an army to do battle with what he knew was eventually coming. His army was created by his own hands, building bulking Frankensteinian creatures, werewolves, and other monsters to battle the aliens, vampires, and ghouls, an all-out monster versus monster free-for-all, the likes that have never been seen on film. Sadly, though, the film would never be finished. Darkest Corners slowly dissolved during production, and Plan 10 crawled back into the dusty grave, never to see the light of day. In the final years, we were going strong with the channel. We had another hit series with the second show, where we talked about films that had bombed originally but became cult hits, released to underground freaks like us. We also did a few short films that were fun but, well, left a lot to be desired.
Take this, you break the strap, son of a bitch.
From the start to the finish, we leave behind.
It was all fun, but not like it was in the good old days. We were hanging in there, but you could feel a change coming. We were still doing Halloween specials and a few horror shows, but those winds of change were starting to die down.
But it's over.
A storm was coming.
The time is coming.
At Darkest Corners
This is where
was starting to get very dim, until eventually the flame would go out.
Goodbye to all who came along. Too many to mention in this song. What I tell me, think nothing of the moments when they're here.
In a way, I think we're innovative. We were bold. We were before our times. and we were raw and uncensored, and we were just something new, and people were liking us. It was some great times to be had, a lot of fun to do, that's for sure, man. It was just some fun times, man. It's things that I'll always cherish. I'm kind of glad just to be a part of this, man. I don't know if I'm back now or if they consider me back, but I am one of the charting members, one of the founding members. The Darkest Corners Trinity is Jigsaw, Igor, and Tombstone. And I love each of these guys like they were my brothers, man. And you know, sometimes, like Peter Criss said, sometimes you have fights with your brothers, but you're still brothers just the same. It's not that we had fights. Every time I get together with Jigsaw and he's doing something for Darkest Corners, I'm honored if he asks me to be a part of it, just like I'm deeply honored now that he asked me to be a part of this, man. And I can't thank him enough for including me in his dreams.
When they happen, we miss they are gifts from above. As a 20-something, we are running away so fast from something so sweet. Should have been a loving memory from our past. Those moments fade away without a word to say. Think nothing about them. Those times fly away then.
As they say, all good things must come to an end. And that was true for us too. Due to unforeseen circumstances, a tragedy in James's life that affected his family, and to a lesser extent me, I ended up in a wheelchair. I had a 2-story house, so a wheelchair and stairs don't work, so I also lost my home, and my wife and my dog, all within a month. But when I look back over my life, I smile. I've done things that only people could imagine, things that most people could never dream. And it wasn't the fame or the money or even the art of making films that was so special. When I look back and smile, it's the fans and the people, my friends, and friends that became family. And it's people that made it all so very special. Some people can have friends come over and help you repave the sidewalk or fix a car, but my friends came over and helped me build a dream. And no man could ask for anything more. I love you all. But we're going to do it better. We're going to do it our style. We are going to do it Darkest Corners.
Thank you for coming along for the ride. We couldn't have done it without you by our side. Thank you for supporting our dreams at play. It's been a fun journey. We shared laughter along the way. Without the fan support, we would have never made it through. From all of us, we send a most sincere thank you. Thank you for allowing us a chance to entertain. Keeping your attention was not easy to maintain. We like to say thank you for giving us your trust. Without your support, there most definitely would be no us. Thank you for allowing us to be our ourselves. Here is where we chose to be and nowhere else. Keeping your attention was not easy to maintain. We like to say thank you for giving us your trust. Without your support, there most definitely would be no us. We shared laughter and tears, memories we made some, but this journey's not over. There's still more to come. Once again, for all that we've done and will ever do, from the bottom of our hearts, we give the most sincere thank you. Thank you for allowing us a chance to entertain. Keeping your attention was not easy to maintain. We like to say thank you for giving us your trust. Without your support, there most definitely would be no us. Thank you for everything. We're all born with the hope and a dream, but always just out of reach, or else so it seems. When opportunity knocks upon your door, will you be there to answer? The future's all yours. Feel it coming. Chance comes along, will you even care? You only get one shot for dreams to come true.
I don't need your attitude.
Drink you some more. Good job.
Pray for the
What will you do when your moment comes?
That is really nasty.
What is it?
Yellow bubble.
Huh?
Yellow bubble like you did earlier.
Bubble? Shit, no, I tell you what, man, that fool y'all just let out of here, I don't know where the fuck y'all got him from. And you white folks are fucking just stupid.
Am I shot too?
Yes.
Here, you're sitting right there.
Rolling action.
Don't look
God
back.
damn,
Never let it fade. Make sure you're loud to shine. Feel it coming.
Sorry. Yeah. Sorry, I don't know what else to say.
and that one that's driving up there in the front goddamn seat, Hank Williams Jr. looking like.
Hey, listen here, boy.
Shut your ass
hey,
up. Hey, don't call me boy again. I'll come up there and whoop your motherfucking ass.
And action. That I don't know, but if we can find something to help kill those monsters out there, then.
What will you do when your moment comes?
That I don't know. I know if we can find a way to reverse this action, then we could. Action. That. That I don't know, but if we can find a way to reverse the chlorotic fusions, then we can. Rolling. That I don't know, but if we can find a way to reverse the reactions of the chlorotic fusions, then we might be able to stop those monsters.
Carry on.
Now, how did y'all find them? I understand y'all white and y'all kind of stick together. God damn, it got to be some kind of rules and regulations to some white people you just don't want to be around you.
Well, why the hell are you hanging out with a bunch of white folks?
I was hanging around with some cool white folks until you joined the group.
Whoa. That's some horse shit.
That's some horse shit. Motherfucker, man. Why the hell am I in the back goddamn seat anyway?
Rolling. Action.
Oh!
Feelings. That our first feature film. I liked it. I mean, the name. It was a term of endearment. Why are you laughing? And action. Yeah.
Look at this huge crowd we have. We'll green screen in the crowd later. Yeah.
Grave Robber Radio having more people. That awkward moment. That awkward moment where you're dancing for the camera and you don't realize it.
I'm a thespian, damn it. You remember that, people? I'm a thespian.